As UNEP's adaptation gap and the emission gap and indeed our production gap report show, we, humanity, we're breaking all the wrong records in climate change. We have records of high greenhouse gas emissions. We have records on global temperatures. We have records on extreme weather events. We have records of ferocity of those events. And all of this are elements to which the world is not yet adapting. So we really have to start setting better records by slashing greenhouse gas emissions and by elevating adaptation to new heights so that we're protecting vulnerable people. And that does start with finance, with the actions that you take and the signals that you send. So I thank you for leaning in, but I also ask you to act hard and speak loud and act fast, because as the signals are getting louder from climate calamities, your signal needs to be particularly loud and clear, particularly to the oil, the gas, and the coal sector. Planned fossil fuel production for 2030 actually wipes out the carbon budget for the 1.5 degrees centigrade, and it eats up almost all of the 2 degrees centigrade budget. So what we have to talk about is that short-term profits for fossil fuel companies, they're already translating into huge costs for governments and for their people in extreme weather events, in harvest failure, and in so much more. Now, I realize that on the short term, oil production brings money into the coffer, but that cannot be the justification for continuation, because every month that we don't invest in hard mitigation, in adaptation, and in early warning, we will have losses and damages grow, and the invoices payable grow. And that lands up on your desks. So developed nations must finance low carbon and climate resilient development transformations at home, and through support to developing nations and low and middle income countries must dedicate resources to meeting their legitimate development needs, obviously, but with low emission growth that has been supported by the richer countries. And in doing so, we can leapfrog to models that end energy poverty, build lasting prosperity without costing literally the earth. Finance has been the fuel for high carbon development, but now it has to become the fuel for low carbon and climate resilient development transformations, starting now at COP28. So I ask you, the Coalition of Finance Ministers for Climate Action, to help make this happen.